Phaeophyta, or also known as brown algae, acquire their characteristic color from the abundant carotenoid fucosantine in their chloroplast, as well as from any phaeophycean tannins that might be present. They possess two membranes of chloroplast ER, which are usually continuous with the outer membrane of the nuclear envelope. Moreover, their storage product is called laminarin. This group of algae are basically filamentous pseudoparenchymatous or parenchymatous. They are found almost exclusively in the marine habitat as there are only four genera containing freshwater species.
Ascophyllum nodosum from phylum Ochrophyta, class Phaeophyceae, order Focales and family Focaceae, is a brown algae with fronds that are very long and branched and strap-like with single air bladders. It also has stalk receptacles which are often present along the main frond, and they are commonly found on sheltered shores.
Calpominas sinuosa, phylum Ochrophyta, class Phaeophyceae, order Ectocarpales, family Cytosiponaceae, genus Calpominia, species sinuosa. Calpominia sinuosa have a globular thallus with sinus folds. They form air-filled and irregularly lobed vesicles. Its mature thalli have an averaging 8 to 10 centimeters diameter and golden to dark brown color. They are found on intertidal zone on rocks or epiphytic on large algae.
Cornus from phylum Ochrophyta, class Phaeophyceae, order Dichotomytalis and family Dichotomytaceae, has a frondose and twisted thalli, which is narrow and ribbon type. It can be found on intertidal rocks and corals. Its margins are entire with round and acute apices. It can grow up to 10 to 25 centimeters tall. Fucoseratus from the phylum Ochrophyta and class Phaeophyceae, order Focales, and family Focaceae, is a cartilaginous frond bifurcating with midrib and edge serrated brown algae. Its receptacles are flattened with extended growth, and they can be commonly found on the lower littoral zone. Himantalia elongata from phylum Ochrophyta, class Phaeophyceae, order Focales, family Himantaliaceae, is a brown algae with vegetative thallus buttoned up to 30 millimeters wide and can be 25 millimeters high. Its receptacle is long, strap-like, and branched, in which its conceptacles are borne. It can be commonly found on semi-exposed shores.
Hydroclathrosclatratus, phylum Ochrophyta, class Phaeophyceae, order Ectocarpales, family Cytosiponaceae, genus Hydroclatrus, species Clatratus. Hydroclathrosclatratus are irregularly shaped perforate brown alga with unevenly sized pores and thickened rims. Its creeping thallus is fleshy, cushion-like, and hollow. Its diameter ranges from 10 to 30 centimeters and its color to light brown to orange. They grow on lower intertidal to shallow subtidal, dead corals, rocks, and epiphytically.
The next algae in the class Phaeophyceae is under the genus Padina under the order Dichotomytalis. Through this genus, representative species will range color from darks to browns, tans to greens, as well as exhibiting either rounded blades or split irregular growths. They have slow growth rates and may be found in southern tropical environments, with a distinct trait of theirs being the only brown algae that are calcified, with scroll-like cups of sorts embedded with rings resembling those of tree trunks on land.
Rosenvingea intricata, phylum Ochrophyta, class Phaeophyceae, order Ectocarpales, family Cytosiponaceae, genus Rosenvingea, species intricata.
Rosenvingea intricata plants are yellowish-brown algae that are about 3 to 5 centimeters tall only, but makes up for size by growing intricately into each other in ramified branches befitting its name. Under the order Ectocarpales, the mature thalli of Rosenvingea intricata are hollow, and cells in the thallus are often larger than near the aorta the cavity, with smaller cells adorning the peripheral sides. They also contain disc-shaped, roundish chloroplasts and hairs scattered in amongst them.
Rosenvingea intricata possess soft with intricate subspherical tufts thallus. They range from light golden brown to olive brown, They consist of hollow branches that are often fusing with adjoining branches. They are found in intertidal zone to subtidal, on rocks, shells, and dead corals.
Rafflesia verrucosa, under order Rafflealis, grows intertidally in temperate waters such as the sandy substrates of lower intertidal to shallow subtidal zones, forming circular patches that grow outwards from the center even when the center parts detach itself from the substrate, often coalescing to form larger patches. A crustose brown seaweed, its thallus is steep to blackish brown 1 mm thick. There is a distinct pale-colored margin wherein erect filaments are fused together. Sargassum sp is an excellent representation of all the sargassums under its name. A marine species that grows up to 200 centimeters in length, its morphology includes a simple thallus with cylindrical or compressed main axes. While the branches may be radial, disticus tristicus with curves to straight axes, its filiform or inverted cone laterals may be either simple or branched. The holdfasts are also either discoidal or conical as well, and there may be subspherical and axillary vesicles replacing ramuli or otherwise found within the ramuli. An example that allows us to take a closer look at the sargassums is the Sargassum kushimotensi, a sargassum on a sandy rocky substrate along the mid-shallow intertidal zone. This sargassum has a holdfast that is shared by many of its genus, discoidal to slightly conical. However, its stem is short, terete, and smooth, measuring up to 5 millimeters long with its primary branches compressed. While the secondary branches are also compressed, the former reaches up to 30 centimeters long and 4 millimeters wide, while the latter only grows around 20 centimeters long. The primary branches' leaves are also deciduous, while the secondary branches are linear lanceolate, all of which possesses sharply serrate margins. Moving on, a distinct representative of the order Dichotomytalis is the Spatoglossum crassifolium. Edible and utilized as animal feed and farm for human consumption, medicines, and pesticides, this species of brown algae has stems enlarged at base and is mostly cylindrical, although appearing pinched here and there and growing to about 1 centimeter long. Its primary branches are slightly compressed and smooth, while the secondary branches irregularly alternate on the primary branches. These species are often found growing on rocks formed by layers of coralline algal death where they are exposed to waves, i.e., low intertidal to shallow subtidal zones.
From class Phaeophysae, order Dichotomytalis and family Dichotomytaceae, Spatoglossum pacificum is an epiphytic algae with a complanate subdichotomous thallus and a matted rhizoidal holdfast without a midrib structure. Its color ranges from greenish to dark brown and is polystichous in structure with individuals that can grow up to 20 centimeters. Spatoglossum pacificum is usually found on rocks in the intertidal zones. From class Phaeophysae, order Spazilarialis and family Spazilariaceae, Spazilaria sp is an algae with a thallus that is composed of fine brown filaments that grows in small tufts up to 1 centimeter tall from the basal rhizoids. It has irregular branching that can only be seen under the microscope due to its small size. Its elongate apical cell has the same width as the rest of its filament, which can become polycyphinous. Spazilaria sp are often found on rocks from high to low intertidal of protected to semi-exposed habitat and also on other seaweeds as epiphytes. From class Phaeophysae, order Fucales and family Sargassaceae, Turbinaria ornata is a stiff and erect algae that is 2 to 20 centimeters tall when reproductive. It has a hard, thick, and conical blades with a double row of stiff spines around the irregularly triangular margin of the blade when viewing from above. Its holdfast bears one terete with erect portion and basal portion, conical or irregular, usually with several unbranched or dichotomously branched root-like structures growing from the basal area of the erect axis. They are mostly light yellowish-brown to dark brown with dark brown spots. Turbinaria ornata is usually isolated or in small groups, but can occasionally form large, low mats in high intertidals. They are commonly found in mid-intertidals to at least 30 meters deep. They are able to grow in a variety of habitats including rocky intertidal, tide pools, intertidal benches, reef flats, and deeper waters.